Derek, just to add a couple of things that are really new to us and that probably cross over some lines here. But last summer we did pilot programs in local Boy Scout camps for ATVs and personal watercraft, which is something for decades we're like on our do not do list. But we realized through surveying young people that those are things that they were interested in doing. So we're working with Lori and the Tread Lightly and others in the industry to create safe programs and give a good framework for young people to experience those. And we've also have on the bubble now the release of robotics merit badge and inventing merit badge. And yeah, those aren't necessarily outdoor type programs. They will appeal to new scouts to come join the program. And when they do that, it's not, I mean, scouting is not like a sports program where they're playing one sport and maybe even one position and get really specialized. Scouting is this big sports sport. So they might join because they're interested in robotics, and Lego's helping us build that program. MIT is helping with the inventing merit badge. That gets them in, and then they're going to start going outdoors, and they're going to go fishing, and boating, and camping, and those type of things. And so they're going to get to have a real broad experience, and I think that's one of the things that's really strong. As Jim said, nobody sits on the bench; everybody gets to try it, and through those things, they get the leadership experiences that go with it. So lots of new things, much more openness within scouting to form partnerships and to look at what the trends are and develop programs to serve the needs. So thanks.
And I just want to say from the Bass Pro perspective, there's not a better partner than the Boy Scouts. They know youth development. Girl Scouts know youth development. 4-H knows youth development. So you got to keep that in mind if you're doing programs for kids. They know youth development. We've got a high adventure post. They go high mountain adventures every summer, do other sort of things. It's neat stuff happening with us.
Michael.
Yeah, you can show your microphone. It's kind of hard to hear.
Yeah, I think you have to turn it on. Hang on 2 seconds. Well, try.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
If I could, I enjoyed those presentations immensely. I thought they were fantastic, and the things that you guys are doing with health and the connection to wellness is really unbelievable. Jerry, let me just offer you another analogy with the soccer thing. Is yes, some folks, Boy Scouts don't leave puts everybody on the first team. But the other thing I noticed too is that on any given summer day, you'll see hundreds of kids age 6 running around on the soccer field. When was the last time you saw a 30-year-old running around on the soccer field? And so the difference is lifetime skills and lessons. So I offer that to you too. The other thing I want to ask Martin actually is, one of the things that we've been struggling with in the connection with health and wellness is to take events like the Outdoor Festival and really track and see whether you're actually making a difference in a long-term outcome, whether or not people are learning new skills that they're going to apply later on. I think the Great Wolf program is fantastic because you can track these children who are going through a program, learning life skills, and then with the expectation that when they're 30 years old, they'll be doing the same thing. A lot of these events that offer kind of great introductions, we have a hard time tracking whether or not that has a true impact on whether or not they can either seek out other avenues for activity or they learn the skills and then reapply them outside of just the once-a-year thing. I'm really asking for your help because this is something that I think we know needs to be tracked, and I'm hoping that Bass has the answer for us in terms of how we can do that.
Well, it's something that we've got to look at. One spin-off to this was a totally unexpected spin-off because of all the associates that were beginning to participate that were Bass Pro employees and participating in these numerous events. Our founder announced Team Wellness, which is a Bass Pro team to make a difference with associate health, wellness, activity, leisure sort of things, and getting even our associates outdoors. But we need to track that, and that's the one thing we do need to know, but we don't yet, but we'll work on that together, because we need to know it.
Just one more thing I think you guys need to brag about more, and all of us do, is something that we don't talk a lot about, and that is this concept called executive function that your kids are really developing. It's this notion where kids are working together at a very young age and doing a lot of creative play, a lot of imagination, because you use a lot of imagination throughout nature, and then working together solving problems. Those develop these fun things called executive function, which is your ability to start regulating yourself and your ability to make decisions. And they say that that tracks better to performance in school than IQ. And I think a lot of parents are letting their kids sitting in front of a computer for hours and hours because they think it's going to help make their kids smart and compete with the Chinese, the Japanese, or whatever other thing they're thinking of. But if parents understood that their kids would actually be smarter and perform better if they were participating in things like Boy Scouts and in some of the programs that you guys are sponsoring, I think it's a way to start communicating to families, because there's nothing to motivate a parent more than to tell them this is what's going to get your kid into college. Parents are doing crazy things and spending thousands of dollars to get their kids into college. And ironically, playing outdoors, using imagination and working out things is going to be one of the best predictors of performance. And I don't think any of us in our profession brag about this enough or talk about it enough to communicate to parents, because we need to work with technology like you're doing with geocaching. We've all found that. Any of us doing geocaching knows it's a big seller. We got to use technology. We're all going to be developing apps. We can't fight technology. There's no point in it. But you also want to get away from having somebody sitting for 7 hours doing technology. And so I think we have a really important message that we can communicate, and I think it's fabulous what you guys have been doing to help demonstrate that and then communicate it. And I'm looking at Derek thinking we're probably about out of time, or
Can I ask one more question?
you get to decide.
What would Boy Scouts and Bass Pro like from the federal land management agencies here as partnerships? What would you most like these agencies, Park Service, Forest Service, Fish and Wildlife, Corps of Engineers, Bureau of Reclamation, what could they do to help your efforts best?
Let me go first. I have no idea, because I'm not sure of everything that you are doing today. We have collaborations with many of you. We don't list the Corps of Engineers, but goodness gracious, so many of our scout camps are on Corps Lakes, including the one in Kansas City that's full of rocks on Truman Lake. Give you a reference point. You know, we're just excited to be able to be with you for this conference. It's my first, it's not Frank's first. We want to do more with everybody in the outside world. We're no longer this little private organization that's going to stay private. We need your help, and together, working together, we can open new markets, we can do new activities, and expose young people to a lot of neat things. I got to thinking in your eloquent remarks, this is not near as eloquent, but think of, how many of you have been on a camping trip? Think of the amount of, I could have said Boy Scout, but it doesn't matter. Think of the amount of citizenship and leadership it takes to perform a simple function like serving a meal. From gathering the firewood, to preparing the washing water, to preparing the meal, and then to clean up. Everybody pitches in. They rotate duties. It's a wonderful opportunity to learn citizenship. Sometimes the pancakes will get burned, it doesn't matter. Sometimes mom has to clean up the cook kit when you get home, it doesn't matter. But this is a win-win for everybody, and we're very happy to be a part of that.
The opportunity, Derek, that you're talking about, and these are marvelous organizations and agencies that you mentioned, and we're partnering with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Table Rock Lake, to create a private foundation, which we've done to raise more money for recreation, good things to happen. We work with the Forest Service on partnerships. And basically, kind of like what Mayor Tate said and what they're talking about in the city of Grapevine, partnerships. Our mission is related to the outdoors. We're dependent upon the outdoors. These organizations are dependent on the outdoors. It's basically partnering together where our missions come together, jointly taking that mission and making a difference. I think that's what it's about. One other little side point. The question was asked about the impact of WOLF and that sort of thing related to curriculum, and does it make a difference when they're outside? I just happen to have something. This is for a teacher. I don't understand this at all, but maybe you do. It says the average scale score comparison of Scranton's Performance Series Assessment, which has to do with academics, related to language arts, reading, and math. Wolf School beat all the other schools in each of those areas. So being outdoors does make a difference. And I've got a copy if you want it.
Closing.
Okay. Any other closing remarks? We want to thank all of you for listening, and hope you can see that this is intended not to be a defeatist kind of panel, because we're all looking at such big challenges, but I think you can see that there's some really very creative, neat things that we can all be working together on and learning from. And I know we're going to be looking to the Boy Scouts quite a bit as we look on how we're going to maintain our mission with less public money. That doesn't mean you're out of the business. It just means you're going to figure out a different way to finance it and a different way to provide the service. And so we're all in this new normal, and I think what you've seen today is some great examples of riding the waves into the future as opposed to getting crashed by them.
Well, let me thank both our moderator, Ruth Coleman, and our wonderful panelists for the presentations here today. Thank you.